a friend, here's what to say. Let's talk in English, 10 minutes every day. When you need a friend, here's what to say. Let's talk in English, 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk in English. My name is Garrett.
And my name is Esther. Today we have our tips lesson.
What kind of tips do we have for you? They're about reducing food waste.
Reducing food waste. Let's talk about what those words mean. If you reduce something, it means you make it a lot less. So if you want to reduce food waste, you need to know what food waste is.
Of course. Food waste is food that is wasted, or food that you could have used, but you didn't. It went bad, and then you threw it away.
So this happens to everyone. You might buy too much food, and some of it goes bad. So you can't eat it anymore, and you throw it away. That's food waste.
But there are ways to fix this problem. We'll talk about them today. First, let's start with today's reading.
For many people in the world, wasting food is a bad habit. They buy more than they need at the market. Then they let fruits and vegetables spoil at home. How can you reduce food waste? First, don't buy too much. You may not be able to eat it all before it spoils. Be careful when you store food. Put older things in the front of your cupboards or refrigerator. Then use those things first. If you cook a meal and don't finish it, freeze it for later. Don't throw it away.
Thanks, Esther. Those were some good tips, and we'll talk about them as we go through today's conversation. We'll also be on the lookout for the answer to today's Find It question. Here is that question. Where does Sam put older food?
Where does Sam put older food? Think about this question as we continue our lesson. Now let's go to Sonia, who will teach us our keywords.
Sarah 发现 Sam 的餐点没吃完。You didn't finish your food, Sam. 动词 finish 就是吃完或用完。Sam 说没吃完的东西他会打包带回家稍后再吃，他不想浪费掉。I don't want to waste it. 动词 waste 就是浪费。关于储存吃的东西 Sam 也很留意，他会把放了比较久的食物放在柜子或冰箱里比较靠近前面的位置，提醒自己要先吃。I put older food in the front of my cupboards or refrigerator. 名词 front 就是前排前面。Sarah 则说，当她煮的量比较大的时候，会把一部分冷冻起来。When I cook a big meal, I freeze some for later. 动词 freeze 就是冷冻保存。她不会把食物丢掉。I don't throw it away. 片语动词 throw away 就是丢弃。
You didn't finish your food, Sam.
It was too much. I'll take it home for later. I don't want to waste it.
Good for you. People waste too much food. We should reduce food waste to help the environment.
I know. So I don't buy too much at the store.
Same here. If I do, it may spoil before I can eat it all.
Sarah notices that Sam eats some food and he doesn't eat all of it.
Yeah, he didn't finish his food. There is some left. If you finish something, You do all of it. If you watch all of a movie, then you finish that movie.
Sam tells Sarah why. He says it was too much, but he's not going to throw it away. He's going to take it home and he's going to eat it later.
Yeah, he'll take it home for later. But we're not saving this for later. We're going to Sonia right now.
Sam 说：“那太多了，我会拿回家留着之后吃。I'll take it home for later。”句尾 for later 表示稍后再怎么样。来看例句 ：Let's save this cake for later. I'm too full to eat it now. 我们把蛋糕收起来，稍后再吃。我现在太饱了，吃不下。或是 We can save some money for later. 我们可以把钱存起来，晚点用。再一句 I'll keep this recipe for later. 我会留着这份食谱，稍后再用。
Thanks, Sonia. Yeah, Sam is not going to throw his food away. He doesn't want to waste it.
If you waste something, it means that you use it in a way you shouldn't. You might throw it away or take too much, or you might spend money in a way you shouldn't. Don't waste water. Don't waste food. You might hear this from others.
Exactly. Well, Sarah is happy to hear how Sam is thinking about this. She says that people waste too much food. I agree. We should reduce food waste to help the environment.
Right. Here the word waste is a noun. Food waste is the food that we waste. We can eat it, but for some reason we don't, and then we need to throw it away.
Sam says he knows about what Sarah said, so he doesn't buy too much at the store. That's a great tip to reduce food waste. If you buy too much at a time, it's hard to finish it in time.
Right, and Sarah does the same as well. She says if she buys too much food, it may spoil before I eat it all. If something spoils, it means it goes bad.
Think about a loaf of bread that you buy. You might eat a few slices and then forget about the rest and leave it out on your kitchen table. If you leave it there for a couple of weeks, you'll come back to some yucky bread.
Right, that bread has spoiled. Now, food spoils easily. So if you buy too much food, even if you put it in your refrigerator, it might spoil if you leave it there too long.
Right, so be careful. Now, here's one other way this word spoil is used that I heard a lot as a kid. My mom would say, "Don't spoil your dinner by eating all that candy first."
Right, that's a good way to use it as well. Here, spoil means destroy, because if you eat a lot of candy, then you get full. Then you have no appetite to eat the good, healthy food you need for dinner.
So you'll ruin your dinner time and your health. So don't spoil your dinner. Eat the healthy things first and have a little bit of sweet things at the end.
Good tip. Let's continue to talk about food waste, but first we need to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Today, Sarah said we should reduce food waste to help the environment. Garrett, what does that mean to you?
Well, when people grow food, it takes resources from the land and other parts of the environment. So if we're not using all the food that we're growing, then it's wasting it. Or food also uses a lot of plastic. So if you're wasting that, then we're using too much plastic as well.
Thanks. That's a very clear explanation. Let's continue to the next part of today's lesson.
I'm careful when I store food too.
What do you do?
I put older food in the front of my cupboards or refrigerator. That way, I eat those things first.
That's smart. When I cook a big meal, I freeze some for later. I don't throw it away.
That's a good plan. That reduces food waste and saves money too.
Now, Sam gives us another tip about what he does to reduce food waste. He says, I'm careful when I store food too. Here, store food means it's how he keeps the food in his fridge or at home.
Yeah, not the store where you go to buy things. To store something is to put it away for safekeeping. Sarah wants to know what Sam does.
Well, that leads us to the answer of today's Find It question. Our question is, where does Sam put older food?
The answer is, he puts it in the front of his cupboards or refrigerator. In the front, where you can see it easily, because you want to use older food first.
Right. And if you buy something like flour or sugar, you might forget that you have it and you put it in the back of your cupboard. But if you put it in the front, then you'll remember that you need to use that first before you buy something new.
Sure, a cupboard is where you store food that doesn't need to go in the refrigerator or the freezer. But you can keep it in these cupboards in your house.
Sam tells us more. He says, that way I eat those things first. Here, that way means that's the reason, or because of that, then he will eat the foods first.
Because of the way that he said earlier, by keeping them at the front. Here's Sonia to tell us more.
Sam 说，我会把放得比较久的食物移到餐柜或冰箱的前面。那样的话，我会先吃那些东西。That way, I eat those things first. 句首的 that way 表示那样的话，用来承接说明前句。来看例句 ：She turned off her phone. That way, it won't bother her. 她关掉手机，那样的话才不会打扰到她。或是 He takes a shower at night. That way, he can sleep in. 他在晚上洗澡，那样的话，他就可以睡晚一点。再一句 He bikes to work. That way, he can save money. 他骑自行车上班，那样的话就可以省钱。
Thank you, Sonia. Well, Sam's idea is smart. Keeping things that are older in the front is something that I should do too.
Right, then you will reduce food waste. Now, Sarah gives us a tip about what she does. She says when she cooks a big meal, this means when she cooks a lot of food, what she will do is she will freeze some of that food for later.
She'll put it in the freezer, not just the regular refrigerator. When you freeze things, they get really cold like ice, and you can keep them for much longer.
Sarah says that she doesn't throw it away. She doesn't throw the food that she has if she eats a big meal and she can't finish it. If you throw something away, it means you will put it in the trash can because you no longer need it or want it.
Remember, friends, don't throw it away. And don't miss today's calendar phrase.
Don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away. 不要把它丢掉。
I'm done.
But you didn't finish your pizza.
I can't eat the last piece.
Don't throw it away.
I'm too full.
Don't throw it away.
I can't eat another bite.
Don't throw it away.
What should I do with it?
Throw it my way. I'll eat it.
Oh, okay. Help yourself.
Don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away. 不要把它丢掉。
Sam agrees. He says that's a good plan, putting food in the freezer for later.
Right, it can keep for a long time. That way, you can reduce food waste and save money too. Remember, if you buy a lot of things at once, it's often cheaper.
Right, and if you already make a meal and you put some of it in the freezer, well, you also save a lot of time, and time is very precious.
Yes, it is. Let's spend some of our time right now reviewing today's key words.
Here's your first key word. Waste. Waste. Turn off the water. Don't waste it.
Front. Front. Stand in the front of the room.
Finish. Finish. Let me finish my pancakes.
Freeze. Freeze. Let's freeze this fruit.
Throw away. Throw away. You can throw away these old things. Friends, those are today's key words. Keep practicing.
And now it's your turn.
The words for today are wasting, front, finish, freeze, and throw away. Now it's your turn to use them in a sentence. First one, are you able to your food? Good job. Are you able to finish your food? Next, get to work and stop time. You got it. Get to work and stop wasting time. Next, the water will outside. Correct. The water will freeze outside. Next, is she at the of the line? You're right. Is she at the front of the line? Last one. Don't that book. Good job. Don't throw away that book. Friends, that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow for your turn.
You didn't finish your food, Sam.
It was too much. I'll take it home for later. I don't want to waste it.
Good for you. People waste too much food. We should reduce food waste to help the environment.
I know. So I don't buy too much at the store.
Same here. If I do, it may spoil before I can eat it all.
I'm careful when I store food too.
What do?
I put older food in the front of my cupboards or refrigerator. That way I eat those things first.
That's smart. When I cook a big meal, I freeze some for later. I don't throw it away.
That's a good plan. That reduces food waste and saves money too.
Ginger, you didn't finish your food.
That's okay. I'll throw it away.
Oh, Ginger, wasting food is a bad habit.
You're right. Can you finish it for me?
No, take it home for later.
Good idea. You can eat it later.
No, you can eat it later.
Oh, okay.
Ginger, you shouldn't waste food.
Well, what can we do about it?
Let's not buy so much food.
Yeah, sometimes it spoils before we can eat it.
Let's put older food in the front of the refrigerator.
Oh yeah, that way we'll remember to eat it. Now that's smart.
And when we cook a big meal, let's freeze some of the food.
Yeah, we can eat it later.
Let's reduce waste.
And save money.
Now open wide.
Aww.
Hi everyone, welcome to Jack's File. I'm Jack. I'm getting ready to go out and buy food. My wife made a list for me. We're trying to reduce food waste, so we planned our meals first. Now we can just shop for the things we need. In many places in the world, people waste a lot of food. They buy more food than they need at the market. Then they let fruits and vegetables spoil at home. Or they cook too much food at home and can't eat it all. Then it spoils and they throw it away. Why is reducing food waste important? Because it saves water and energy. How can you reduce food waste? First, don't buy too much. You may not be able to eat it all before it spoils. Plan your meals and make a shopping list before going out to buy food. This helps you buy only what you need. Next, be careful when you store food. Put older things in the front of your cupboard or refrigerator. Use those things first. If you cook a meal and don't eat it all, freeze it for later. Try to use up leftover food instead of throwing it away. For example, leftover vegetables can be added to soups or stir-fries. You can help the planet by reducing food waste. Most people don't think about wasting food, but it is a real problem. If we all try not to waste food, it helps the earth. Okay, I'm going shopping now. I'll see you next time on Jack's File. Goodbye, everyone.
Friends, today we've been talking about food waste, and Sam and Sarah have both given us some tips on how we can reduce food waste. Garrett, what do you do to reduce food waste?
Well, I'm still trying to get better at this, but one thing is, if I've cooked too much of an ingredient and I've kept it in the fridge overnight, when I'm cooking the next day, I'll try and think of a new way to use that same ingredient so I can keep using it up.
That's a good idea. Then you won't need to throw that ingredient away. And I like to do what Sarah does. When I cook a big meal, I take some of it and put it in the freezer. It saves time and money.
Well, these were some great tips so we can all help the environment and our wallets.
Right. Friends, come back tomorrow and we'll continue this lesson about food waste. But we need to say goodbye, so we hope to see you again tomorrow, right here on
Let's Talk in English. Goodbye.
Bye.